Hi everyone. So just to give you a couple of reminders about the essay before obviously the deadline, which is going to be next week. A couple of reminders, key points from me. Please make sure that you've got a bibliography. Yeah. So it's just a list of websites, books that you've used, things like that, magazines, radio interviews, whatever it might be. Ensure you've compared and contrasted. Yeah, if you've not compared and contrasted throughout your essay, then certainly in the end you need to explore how certain artists compare and contrast. Revisit as well in your conclusion what it is that you started out looking at and where you ended up. What was your journey? How did it develop? How did it progress? What are your key what was your key research, or what was your key interests? And also, I'm going to look very quickly at the marking criteria as well, so how you are graded, essentially. So the deadline, just to remind you, is the 25th of June. Don't forget to compare and contrast. It could be a well-established artist, it could be somebody that is less so. It could be historical comparisons of different art movements. It needs to be relevant to your title, your theme, and sort of what it is that you are doing. So there's an example here. I'll email this out. So looking at two different contrasting things. This looks at something from New Zealand and use of colour, and looking at how these two artists are similar in some ways. Your conclusion, this is where you summarise your key points from the project, arrive at what you've found, what you've judged, what you've discovered. Yeah? How have you moved on since you started this essay? Bibliography, please, it's something I write loads on feedback. It does need to include websites, articles, books, videos, first-hand information, museums that you may have visited in the past where you got some key info. Please make it personal as well. So what is it that drew you to this particular topic? Why were you interested in it? How have you brought together all your ideas? Have you cross-referenced your artists? Make a judgment. Yeah, was there flaws in the title that you started with? Has it changed your mind about the concepts or the theories that you've started off discussing and considering? This is how you're marked. Okay, so going from simplistic ability to communicate ideas up to sophisticated and sustained. But just to make you aware of a couple of things, do need to make sure that you're using appropriate vocabulary, such as specialist language. So composition, line, tone, colour, leading lines, the sort of composition that the image is or it's used, or the materials used, and connections. If you just look at one artist in isolation and don't talk about how they are connected to the art world, then I'm not going to be able to award you marks for that. Connections, where appropriate, either between people that have influenced them or they have influenced later on in the art world. This all needs to be uploaded, not obviously the mark scheme, but your essay needs to be uploaded onto Teams by the 25th, so that me and Sally can obviously refer to this, look at it, and mark it and get it back to you. Any problems, any questions, please come back to me. I'll do my best to help. But you've got essentially 10 days to get that all done. And